The Haunting of Miss Koi Koi, a boarding school nightmare. I've always thought Miss Koi Koi was just a story. You know, one of those things older people tell kids to scare them into behaving. I didn't think I'd ever meet her. This happened in a boarding school in Nigeria, where I grew up. I was in SS2, and it was midterm break, so most students had gone home. Only a handful of us were left behind because our parents couldn't pick us up. The hostel was quieter than usual, and the silence made everything feel off. It started around 11 p.m. My friend Chigozie and I were lying in bed, talking in whispers because the matron had already told us to sleep. Suddenly, we heard it, koi, koi, koi. At first, I thought it was a joke. Maybe one of the junior students was trying to scare us. The sound was faint but clear, heels clicking on the concrete floors. The strange thing was, our hostel had no tiled floors, just plain cement. Chigozie froze. "You hear that?" he whispered. I nodded, my heart racing. The sound grew louder. Koi, koi, koi. It was steady, slow, like someone walking confidently. We peeked out from under our covers, but the corridor outside our room was pitch black. The matron always turned off the lights at night, but this time, it felt darker than usual. Then the footsteps stopped, right outside our door. I held my breath. My heart was pounding so loudly I thought whoever, or whatever, was outside could hear it. "Chigozie," I whispered. "Maybe it's the matron." "No," he hissed. "The matron doesn't wear heels." Suddenly, the door opened. I swear, we hadn't even locked it. We couldn't see much, just the faint outline of a figure. A woman. Her face was pale, almost glowing in the darkness. She had bright red lips, like she had just put on lipstick. But her eyes, they didn't look human. They were too wide, too bright, staring at us without blinking. She was wearing a long dress, and her high heels gleamed even in the dim light. "Koi, koi," she said, her voice soft but sharp. I don't know what came over me, but I screamed. Chigozie grabbed my arm, and we bolted out of the room, running down the hall. As we ran, we could still hear the sound of her heels behind us. "Koi, koi, koi." We didn't stop until we reached the matron's quarters. She opened the door, angry at first, but when she saw our faces, her expression changed. "What happened?" she asked. We told her everything. She didn't say a word, just locked her door and told us to sleep on the floor in her room. That night, none of us slept. The next morning, the matron gathered the few students left and told us a story. She said that years ago, a teacher at the school had been wrongfully accused of theft and fired. She was known for her love of high heels and red lipstick. Heartbroken and humiliated, she died not long after leaving the school. Since then, people say her spirit haunts the dorms, especially during midterm breaks. I still don't know if it was real or if my mind was playing tricks on me. But I'll never forget that night, or the sound of those heels. Koi, koi, koi.